means terms. Okay, so we're talking about many terms. And we also started our operations. Okay, so we learned how to do a few different things. We learned how to add our polynomials, subtract our polynomials, multiply, and we had just started doing log division. We were going to do synthetic division. So whenever we have our polynomials, we thought back to my complex numbers. Okay. If you think back to complex numbers, something like this, right? I have my imaginary, I have my real number, a complex number. We cannot add these two together because they're not like terms. So the same thing happens here. If they're not like terms, we cannot add or subtract them together. But we can definitely multiply them if we saw it like this. Okay. So if you have something like this, you can definitely multiply them all. Whenever we multiply everything together. When we're adding, we're just adding our like terms. When we are subtracting, we're just subtracting our like terms. That's all we're doing. That's all we've done. So let me see if I can move this. No, to make it bigger. So let's start off here. Let's add. So we know we can only add like terms together, meaning it has to have the same exponent and it has to have the variable, right? If not, I can't add them together. So number one, I have 7x to the fourth power plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 9 plus 5x to the fourth power plus 8x cubed minus 6x squared plus 2x minus 5. Many terms. Okay, so I'm going to add them together. I'm going to start off with my leading here. We have here 7x to the fourth power and 5x to the fourth power. That is the largest. On each one, it's the largest coefficient and it has the highest exponent. So there are our leading numbers. So I'm going to add 7 plus 5 gives me 12. And then my variable and my exponent remain the same. So x to the fourth power. And then I'm going to go to the next exponent. After 4 gets smaller, we have 3. The only thing that is cubed is my 8x cubed. So I'm just going to put plus 8x cubed. And I'm going to look for my squares. What I have squared is 2x squared and negative 6x squared. So 2 minus 6 gives me negative 4. My variable and my exponent stay the same. And then I have just x. Just x. I have minus 3x plus 2x. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. I don't have to put the 1. I'm just going to put minus x. Okay, I don't have any more variables. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add what I have at the end. So I have 9 minus 5. It gives me 4. So I added my polynomials together. I combine all my like terms, and I have 12x to the 4th power plus 8x cubed minus 4x squared minus x plus 4. So when we're adding, all we're doing is combining all of our like terms together. Okay. Do we remember doing this? Are we having like flashbacks? What do we think? Yes, I have some thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's do a subtraction. Okay, let's go back. Let's do a subtraction. Let's do number 2 since it's up so close. Okay. Let's go there. So, same concept, right? Same concept. We're putting our terms together that are the same. But whenever we're subtracting, the first thing we do, we're going to distribute the negative to the next parentheses. So all I'm going to do is rewrite the second parentheses with the negative on the bottom. So 14x to the 4th power, if I distribute the negative, turns into minus 14x to the 4th power. Negative times negative is positive. Hello, good morning. Thank you. So then we're going to put plus 8x cubed. And then we have minus 11x squared and minus 1. So we're just going to put them together one more time, starting with my 4th power exponents. We're just going to review for today. So 4 minus 14 gives me minus 10. My variable and my exponent remain the same. And then I go to my cubes. Negative 7 plus 8 is just 1. I don't have to put the 1. If you want to, go ahead. My squares, negative 9 minus 11 gives me negative 20. X squared and 18 minus 1 is 17. So I subtracted them, combined my like terms, and now I have my answer, negative 10x. Hi. To the 4th power plus 8x cubed minus 20x squared minus 17. I don't have any x's. Just x, I don't have any. It's okay. We don't have to put 0x. We can just keep it moving. Okay. So we did addition. We went over subtraction. Now we're going to multiply. I don't know what happened here to number 5. But let's multiply number 6. Here, I'll make it bigger so we have more space. Remember, whenever we're multiplying, we can do everything with everything. So all we're going to do is distribute. Okay. I'm going to distribute right here. And then what I have on the inside. So let's erase that. And I'm going to start in red. So first, with my red, 4 times 8 gives me 32. N times n gives me n squared. And then I'm going to do 4 times 8 gives me 32. And then I just have one n. Okay. Whenever we are multiplying and we have variables, we're adding our exponents. Okay, so I just have one n. And then we're going to do the inside. Right here, 6 times 8 gives me 48, and I only have one n. And then I have just 6 times 8. Okay? Please remember to combine your like terms. Some of us left it like this. I don't remember if it was in this class. I think it was third period. But just so everybody remembers, combine our like terms together. So I only have one squared. I have 32n squared. And then I have my n's. 32 plus 48. What's 32 plus 48? And then my variable stays the same, and then we have plus 48. So whenever we're multiplying, one more time, guys, we multiply everything the whole way through. Nice and pretty. Don't forget to combine your like terms. We'll do another one, but don't forget to combine your like terms. Let's do number 8. Here. Number 8 has two variables. We have x and we have y. You can multiply them together. Okay. We have 2, 3, 4 variables. We still have to multiply them together. So just go slow. Start off with our coefficient, and then the first variable, and then the second variable. So we have 5 times 6 gives us 30. X. And then we have x times x, right? We're adding our exponents. That gives me 2 x's. And I'm going to do the same thing with the y. Okay? So 5 times -4, -20. I only have one x, so I'm going to put it. And I have one y, so I'm going to put it. It goes together. X times y gives me xy. And we're going to multiply the next portion. Y times 6x. So if we don't have a number in front of it, it's just 1. 1 times 6 is 6. I want to put plus 6. Y times x. I'll put it in order xy. And then y times -4y. 1 times -4, -4. Y times y, so one y and another y. Squared, yes. We're always adding our exponents over multiplying. So, one last time. Please combine your like terms. Please. So I don't have any squares for x, just one. So I'm going to write 30x squared. And then I'm going to write minus 4y squared, because they're both squared. And then I'm going to combine my xy. -20 plus 6 gives me what? -14 xy. And this, still a polynomial, that's my answer. If you had a value for x, you can plug it in. If you had a value for y, you can plug it in. Okay. So when we're adding, we're only adding and subtracting our like terms. When we're multiplying everything together, adding our exponents. Now, when we did long division, we all go down. I think it's 16. we're dividing, we did long division. We put number inside my little house. I told you guys you can use color if it helps you, color code, highlight, use colored pens, whichever works for you. Okay, whichever works for you. So I have 2x to the fourth power minus 9x cubed plus 21x squared minus 26x plus 10 divided by 2x minus 3. So this second number here, this is my denominator. This right here, that's my denominator. That goes on the outside of my little house. And what was at the beginning goes inside my little house. So I'm going to put 2x minus 3. And then on the inside, I'm going to put my numerator. 2x to the fourth power minus 9x cubed plus 21x squared minus 26x plus 10. Just like that. Okay. So whenever we're dividing using our long division, we go one term at a time. How many times our coefficient and our exponent and the variable go into each other? Whenever we're dividing, we are subtracting our exponents. Okay? And however long it takes us is however long it takes us. Please don't forget, when we multiply the whole denominator. So let's begin. 2, right here, goes into 2, how many times? Just once, right? So we can put 1. And x doesn't have an exponent, but it's just 1. Goes into x to the fourth power. Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. And then I'm going to multiply it. 1x to the third power times 2x gives me 2x to the fourth power. And don't forget to multiply the whole denominator. 1 times -3, -3. My variable and my exponent remain the same. So we're going to subtract these. Okay, we're going to subtract them. So my signs change. 2x to the fourth power minus 2x to the fourth power gives me 0. And then I have -9 plus 3 gives me -6. My variable and my exponent remain the same because we're subtracting and we know this. And I'm going to bring down what I have next. Is that 21? It is. Okay. We have plus 21x squared. And we're going to do the same thing all over again. 2 goes into -6. How many times? -3, right? 2 goes into -6, -3 times. And then I have x right here to the third power. And I have x, just x. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have minus 3x squared. We're going to multiply it by 2x minus 3. So this gives me -6x cubed. -3 times -3 gives me +9. My variable and my exponent remain the same. And we're going to subtract. If we're subtracting, my signs change. -6x cubed plus 6x cubed gives me 0. 21 minus 9 gives me what? 12. My variable and my exponent remain the same. And we're going to break down what's next. So what's next is minus 26x. And we're going to do it again. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So I'm going to put plus 6. We're all positive here. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm just going to put x. If we look at all my variables, the exponent is going down as we keep going. So 6x times 2x gives me 12x squared. 6 times negative 3 gives me negative 18. And my variable stays the same. We're running out of space. Okay. So we are subtracting. Please don't forget your signs change. That's addition. 12x squared minus 12x squared gives me 0. And minus 26 plus 18. See if I can fix that. Minus 26 plus 18 gives me 8. Positive or negative? Negative, right? So I have minus 8. My variable stays the same. I have x. Okay. So I'm just going to write it right here because we're running out of space. And we're going to bring down what we have next, which is plus 10. And finally, our last time, 2 goes into negative 8. How many times? Negative 4. Now, I have x and I have x. They're both 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I'm not going to put anything for x. So 2x times negative 4 gives me negative 8x. Negative 4 times negative 3 gives me positive 12. Negative times negative is positive. And we're subtracting. Don't forget to change the sign. This turns to positive, this turns to negative. So 8x minus 8x gives me 0. 10 minus 12 gives me negative 2. So what is this called here, this negative 2? Because I don't have anything else to bring down. This is my remainder. So my answer is up here in black. Okay. X cubed minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. And I have a remainder of negative 2. Okay. So we did long division. We went term by term. Okay. We went term by term. Make sure whenever we're subtracting, we are changing the sign. Okay. And whenever we're multiplying, we multiply the whole denominator. No matter how many terms we have, we do have to multiply the whole thing. Take however much space we need because we will need a lot of space. Okay, so